Okay, it tells me we are live here. Guys, my name's Albie Costa. If I haven't met you before, I should have met you because this video will be going out to our training list, so we should be at least aware of each other, or you'll be involved with somebody else in our team. So I'd like to welcome you to this Hangout, and we're just going to go through a few very informal questions and answers. I've just had a bunch of questions pop up in the Skype room, and I thought I'll just attend to those. I've got on with me a couple of guys, actually. One's from over in South Korea, and it's my good mate Tracy Stark, otherwise known as Starkers. So all the way from South Korea is Starkers. Welcome, Starkers.
Good afternoon. How's the end of the summer going for you over there?
It's doing just perfect. Got the air conditioner running, got the fan on. We're just on the tail end of summer. Looking forward to autumn and some cooler weather. It's been a hot old summer, buddy.
Yeah, we had a nice icy cold winter up here in Korea, but starting to change. Things are going getting brighter. Though they do have a thing here called the yellow dust, hwangsa, and it's this poisonous dust that blows over from China, floats around in the air for about 3 to 6 months, and gives people a lot of respiratory distress. But we're hoping to be out of the country before another one of those comes through. So. And
I see it's affected your hair as well.
Yeah, it totally just, there's so many bald people walking around here. Their hair's just stripped right out by the yellow dust. So I had to join in.
Good day. Now I've got another guy on the line here, another fellow Aussie who's just got started in the last couple of weeks, and this is Paul. And Paul is over in Perth at the moment, even though he's from the Brisbane area. Welcome to the call, Paul.
Thanks, Albie. Yeah, just over here on separate business, normal everyday work for the boss type business. So looking forward to getting back home on the East Coast and having more time to get stuck into all this. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Perfect. All righty. Well, what I'm going to do is we've had a few questions over the last hour or so in the Skype room, so I thought I'd just attend to some of those. Now, the first question was, this morning I ran a campaign, sorry, I cut a video, and it was about how, I wanted to get 100 opt-ins in 60 minutes or less, plus a couple of sign-ups to our business. And I did a recording, and it went exactly as planned. What I didn't tell you was that was about the 5th take. Because of a whole range of issues. I remember cutting the video once and I forgot to actually pay for the campaign, so I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and I kept coming back to the screen and didn't actually pay for the campaign, had to come back again. So I thought, first of all, I'd just run through exactly how that campaign was set up. Now, most of you should have seen that video. If you haven't, I'll pop a link below this video somewhere, or it'll be in the Skype room, or we'll put it in the training room, or you would have had a broadcast email from myself or one of the team. So I'm just going to share my screen, and we're going to flick over to Adfly. It's literally a 2-minute process, and I'm going to show you exactly what that campaign looked like and how it was set up, right down to the last detail. Okay, so I'm going to do a screen share. Now I need you two guys just to let me know when you can actually see my screen.
Yep. Got your browser.
Got the browser. Okay, so where I'm heading is to Adfly. Can you guys see the Adfly screen there?
Yep.
All right, now I can't see you at all, so as soon as something happens, let me know. I did this once, and I went on for 45 minutes, and nobody told me that the internet connection had actually stopped, so I was prattling on for 45 minutes to myself. It was a beautiful thing.
Albie, all I see are pictures of you in a Speedo.
Ah, have I still got that up, have I? Nasty. Right, here I am in my Adfly, what do you call it, account, and I'm just going to show you exactly what I did in that video. First of all, what we do is the first thing you need to have done is actually set up a campaign. So I'll actually set up a dummy campaign here And a campaign takes about, can take as little as an hour to get approved. It can take as long as 14 hours to get approved, depending on when these guys are awake, whoever approves the campaigns whenever they're awake. So let's go and make sure we've selected pop ad advertising. Obviously we went to create campaign, and if you haven't actually got an account, I'm going to assume you haven't got an account. We're going to put a link for you to actually sign up somewhere under the description here. Once you've signed up for Adfly, log in, hit create campaign. Make sure you select pop ad advertising. I've tried all the institutional advertising and the leaderboard banner advertising. Definitely get the best results from pop ad advertising. And here we've got some options. Now just let me first of all explain what sort of traffic we're getting here. Adfly traffic is what they call incentivized traffic. That's traffic that people are actually paid to view ads. Okay, so when we pay for Adfly traffic, we're actually paying for somebody to actually view our ad for 10, 15, 20 seconds. But what we're not paying for is for them to fill out our lead capture form. So everybody who fills out their information on the lead capture form that they are looking at or paid to view, that is a purely voluntary act. So there's somebody that are actually requesting more information about your business. Now, just think of the type of person that actually makes a living out of viewing ads. They're normally not in your sort of top socioeconomic, strata. So you're pitching your business to somebody who may not have a lot of money. The thing about this traffic is it's super cheap, and you can get mountains of traffic really, really quickly, and you will find little gold nuggets in amongst it. Fortunately, it is very cheap. The other thing is it builds your list, and there's something really motivating about seeing your list building all the time. And it's very important that in this business in particular that you're always keeping yourself up mentally, and there's always something happening, that you're never sitting back and there's no activity happening. Can you guys still hear me okay?
Yep.
Perfect. So let me just run through how this campaign's set up. Now there's two sorts of traffic, there's two sorts of campaigns I run here. One is what I call a Big Five campaign, where all I do is I select what I call a Big Five, which is the United Kingdom, United States, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. Okay, now that traffic is the most expensive traffic here, but you're only paying, like, let's say for the most expensive traffic, which is the US, you're paying $4 for 1,000 per 1,000 views. Australia, it's $2.40, and this traffic will generally come through a lot slower than any of the other traffic. So that's, when I do a campaign like that, that's all I select. I just I might buy 5,000 clicks to the United Kingdom, 5 to the United States, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and I'll just let that campaign run on its own. That traffic is actually quite good because they're coming from fairly affluent countries, English-speaking countries. That traffic can be produce quite good results depending on what program. For something like Likes Excel, it's absolutely perfect traffic. Now I use this traffic for testing my funnels, and then I've always got a little campaign running in the background. But for the purposes of this training, I'm going to run through exactly what I did in that video to get, well, actually it ended up being to date over 400. In fact, if I go to my inbox here, you'll see, amongst other ones, you'll just see all of the, can you guys see that? These are all opt-ins that have been coming in while we've been talking. So, you know, there's like about 400 opt-ins that have come in the last 3 hours since I actually did that video. This is what I did. Okay, worldwide deal. I bought 100,000 of those, and I bought 100,000 of the proxy traffic deal. Now these two here, when you select those, they'll just come through super fast. And then all you do is you simply go down to the bottom here, and sorry, it wasn't that much. It was 50,000 each, because I remember it was $120. I think. Sorry, 50,000. Sorry, I've just completely put in the wrong numbers there.
1 million.
And that's 60. It was double that. It was 100,000 each. I think I put an extra zero in there. 100,000, I think. 100K. There's hope for you guys all. I've got no idea what I'm doing. It's still working. Look at that. There we go, $120. That's how much it cost me. So what I did was here, click to enter your pop ad details. Went through here. Now I've already got a campaign set up, but if you're going to set up a new campaign, you select here, you go create new pop ad campaign. You name it, so you give it a name. If it's for Likes Excel, you just call it Likes Excel, and then all you do there is you put in your lead capture page. So in my example, it would be paid. Whoops. That's paid every 30 minutes. So I would just copy that URL and I would just paste that in there like that, and I would click show on skip ad button. I'll select desktop and mobile. Don't worry about anything there. You need to agree to those two there. Select which method you want to pay with. I normally go Payza or PayPal. And then you pay for your campaign there, and then you wait for your 12 hours or a couple of hours, however long it takes to actually get that approved. You'll get an email saying it's approved. Now, I already have a campaign set up, so all I need to do is drop down here and select the Like Excel campaign there, and then all I would do is go PayPal, Payza, pay for it. Now, if I've got a campaign that's already approved, guaranteed within 5 or 10 minutes you'll start to see traffic come pouring through, and as I said, you'll get a lot of traffic really quickly, and it's very motivating to see a list come up. Now let me just pull this down. I'm going to unshare my screen now.
Albie, before you unshare.
Whoops.
I was going to ask you to show your results live. Does it show that on Adfly?
Not on Adfly. Just let me see if I can find how to get back on this. I've done it again, haven't I?
You lost us?
I have. Well, I can hear you, but I can't see you. Here we go.
We're both making faces at you. Okay.
All right, here we go. I'm back in. 1 sec. Okay. I'm back on now. All right. Sorry. The only way I could show you that is to show you my Aweber account and how many sort of subscribers I got today, which I believe is about 560 or something like that. Now, here's the thing: is when you first start out in this business, it's quite a steep learning curve. Okay, the principle of how our whole funnel is, we're building a list. Now we drive traffic to a lead capture page. Those email addresses drop into our autoresponder, which is either part of our sales funnel, which is the PLS system that we use, or I use Aweber, which I've plugged into the side of PLS. And if you're not familiar with that, don't worry about it. You don't need to. If you're familiar with Aweber or you've got an Aweber account, we've got some videos to show you how you can plug that in. Now, here's the thing: is once you start getting traffic coming into your autoresponder account, that is really when your work starts. Now, most people who come in, this is a point I want to really labour on, is most people who come into this industry, they want this magic formula, because I did the same thing. I got into a business about 8 years ago, and this guy was making $30,000 a month, and he said, well, here's the sales funnel, gave me the sales funnel. He said, this is where to get your traffic from. And he said, these are my conversion statistics. So I did the mathematics on it, and I worked out if I spent $10,000 driving traffic, I was going to start making $30,000 a month. Now, after my $10,000 worth of traffic, literally spent $10,000. And once my $10,000 was blown, I think I had 2 sign-ups and had made a total of $2,000. And I was out the back door for $8,000. And I couldn't work it out. It was seriously frustrating. I started accusing this guy of being a liar and a scammer. He showed me through his back office, and his results were genuine. He was making that sort of money, and they were his conversion statistics. I said to him, you must be doing something different to what I am. He said, I probably am, but it's probably not what you think it is. And I learned over the years that you can give 10 people the exact same sales funnel and exactly the same traffic, and they'll get wildly varying results. And it comes down to just one thing, and that is the relationship that you're building with your list. And this is where the hard work is. This is where the rubber hits the road. We've described it before as a bloke trying to court a woman. You don't just walk straight up to a woman and say, do you want to marry me? There's a process you have to go through. Now, some women may be a little more open to that than others, and look, if you ask 100 women if they'll marry you, might get one that says yes. You're always going to get one person on your list that's absolutely desperate and wants to join up right now. But I guarantee, if you look like me, you're not going to get yeses all that often, okay? You're going to have to work on it. I certainly know with my wife, it took me the best part of 12 months of just chipping away before she was even interested in me at all. So it's the same with your list. It's not an instant process. You have to start to project yourself. You have to start to communicate with them. You've got to start sending pictures of yourself, cutting videos. Make yourself attractive to that list. You've got to put yourself on the other side of the ledger and think, what is it about that guy? Why would I join him? And what is it about that person, or him or her, that's attractive to me and wants me to join up with them? What makes them different to someone else? There's also a key principle is that you've got to try and make yourself the moral authority on the particular business that you're involved in. You have to sound like the authority and become the authority on that particular business, which means you've got to do as much research into that business and learn as much about it as you can, so that you can project yourself as a leader. Because I guarantee if there's going to be another leader out there that's looking to get into another business, they're not going to join up with someone who doesn't really know what they're talking about or is able to help them. They're going to want to join up with another leader. And that's a process as well. That doesn't start straight away. So the really important key here is to broadcast every day. Sometimes in fact today I broadcast twice. Just make a short video. I mean, the very first video you should be making is, g'day, my name's Albie Costa. Just wanted to let you know I'm a real person. I'm here to help you. And I want you to know that I'm going to be transparent with you. I'm not going to try and hide anything from you, but I'm certainly going to try and help you get the results that you want as long as you're prepared to put the work into it. We're all about giving a hand up, not a hand out as well. So that's very, very important that you create that relationship with that list and that you do it consistently. And this is where most people quit. They get to a certain point and they feel like they're talking to a brick wall, because 90% of the time when you're communicating with your list, you're going to feel like you're actually just talking to a brick wall. You're not getting any response. People are signing up to your program. They're not paying any money to fund that program. And I'll guarantee if you don't quit and you continue that process and you continue building your list, there's a couple of things that will happen. Number one is you'll get better at what you're doing. And the second thing is people will know that you're serious. All right? Now, there's a couple of things you should be broadcasting through your list all the time. And the first thing is results. And this is why it's so important that you start as hard and as fast as you can so you're at least getting some results. They don't have to be my results. They don't have to be huge results. People need to know that you're on a journey, and if you're starting with small results and you're broadcasting that you're actually moving forward, I'll guarantee there'll be people on your list that'll be watching what you're doing, because I've been building a list for like nearly 7 years now, and I'll get people who join up to a program saying, I've been watching you for 2 years now, I've never heard from them, and I know that you're serious, and I've seen you grow, and I think you're the right person for me to join with at this time. And most people quit before that magic happens. Okay, it's like any relationship building process. It takes time. You don't just bail out of a relationship, you know, because it just gets too tough. You know, you've got to commit to, and this is where all the work in online marketing is. It's the hardest job in internet marketing, is building a relationship with that list. Have you guys got any questions on that at this point at all?
Yeah, I want to ask you something real quick about your list. I saw the total. Actually, about 3 weeks ago, you showed me your total, and it was around 10,200. And now it looks like you've added about 3,000 names to your list. So you've been doing this about 8 years. Why is your list only at 10,000 names?
Yeah, good question. I've got several lists and several accounts. So, and also, so that is my main account and that is my main list. What you need to be doing is constantly going through your list and sifting out the people who have unsubscribed, the undeliverables, the people who haven't opened any emails, and I'm constantly going back through that list and actually refining it, because you're paying for every single email that's been hosted on Aweber. You're paying for whether they've unsubscribed, whether they've actually opened an email, or whether they've opted out. You're still paying for that person to be on that list. So my list has been as big as 25,000, and I've actually taken it right back down to 5,000, built it to 10,000, brought it back down to 4,000. I'm always constantly just getting rid of all of the unsubscribes, people who've never opened a single one of my emails, the undeliverables. I keep sifting those out. So I may have actually added another 8,000 or 9,000 in that time, but I've actually whittled that down to, I think it's about 13,000 today. But they're 13,000 highly refined emails that are in that list. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I wondered because there's a lot of marketers out there. You know Alex Jeffries, you heard of him?
No.
He's all about list building. He's got all these list building programs. And I think he's mentioned something about having like 2 million names on his list. And I just wonder how many of those names, how many of those people are actually engaged? What kind of an open rate this guy has?
Well, I can tell you the the person who mentored me, and you guys all know who that is. He makes a multiple 6-7 figure income every year, and I know exactly how big his list is, and it's under 4,000 people.
What?
There you go.
And that's crazy because I'm on his list like 3 times.
Yep, and that's highly refined list. He does not. If you don't open an email in the first 5 broadcasts, you're off his list, basically. He just wants a highly refined, highly reactive list. So it's not the size of your list; it's how reactive it is, and how. And here's the thing: is everybody's going to have different conversion rates. So you may need a bigger list to do the same job. I need a bigger list than him to do the same, make the same amount of income, because my conversion rates are different. He's better in certain areas. He's a great principle, and I've mentioned this many times over the years. In this industry, you can do all the wrong things really well and never make a cent, but you can do all the right things quite poorly and actually still make a great income. Now, I'm a great example of someone who does the right things very poorly and still makes, a full-time online income. I don't do anything particularly well. I don't write particularly great emails. In fact, it's quite a mess. If you look in my Aweber account and the way everything's structured, if you had to sort of look inside my head, my wife's head looks like a perfect filing cabinet. If you were to look inside there, mine looks like a bowl of scrambled eggs. All right, and that's pretty much how I run my business. It's just how my mind operates. But I know the things that make money is broadcasting and building a relationship with others. So the things I focus my energy on are the things that are my skill sets. I love making videos. I love doing training things. I'm hopeless at organising things. Greg, who's just come on, is an impeccable organiser. G'day, Greg.
I apologise for being late. I'll have to actually swing over to the dark side. I won't have computer crashes in future.
No worries. Now, Greg's up north of here, up in Queensland as well. He's on the Sunshine Coast. So welcome to the call, Greg. We're just going through list building and some of the principles and some of the misconceptions that people have when they come into this industry. Paul, did you have any questions at all about any of that?
No, it's all pretty clear. I can be testament, though, to your diligence of your broadcasting, because I was on your mailing list for well over 12 months before I decided that you were the man I wanted to work with. So there you go.
And look, here's the thing, Paul. Great thing is we talk about this, what I call this thin band called the looking zone, and I've mentioned this on other videos. people are always moving in and out of that looking zone. They get their first job. They think life's rosy. They spend 2 years in that first job. They hate it. They enter the looking zone, and they find they want to go back to uni and do more study. So they come out of the looking zone. They get a job again. You know, people are in and out. And here's the thing: is that time's a great equalizer. And if you are consistently broadcasting and you've got emails coming out, when people enter that looking zone, you want to be in their face so they're looking in your direction, and you're a familiar face. It's called top of mind marketing, so that you're familiar to them, and they're thinking, oh yeah, look, I've been getting emails from Albie for 12 months. He's a familiar face. I trust that that face because it's been there for so long, and they look in your direction, and they're more inclined to join you than someone brand new who's just started out and you just got their first email, because they, you know, it's just like that person walking up to you saying, you know, do you want to marry me? So thank you for that, Paul. And this is why I always tell people, don't quit, because when you start, you're really, honestly, most of the time going to be thinking you're talking to a brick wall. But the magic's happening inside you. You're getting better at what's happening, and you don't know who's on that list, who's watching you. You'd be surprised at how many people are just watching you to see if you're serious and to see your results. So you want to be sending results. You want to take screenshots of how many people you've sponsored. If you've made $20 that day, take a screenshot, send it out. But make sure they're real results. Don't try and give them, if I give them somebody else's results, and this is a great way to start, is send them your upline's results, but make sure they know it's your upline's results. Say, you know, one of our team members, which is why, because Laurie Petrosino, who has always been downline for me in all the other businesses, is now my upline. I'm now using her results, but I'll tell them one of our team members, Laurie, is making, you know, $7,000 a week, which is genuinely what she's doing. So use someone else's results until you get your own results, but keep broadcasting, tell them you're part of the same team, so that people feel like they're part of the family.
Yeah, I've got to do. I've got to get into the doing a video thing yet, so I'm probably not. You always wonder what to say. I think I'm going to have to write a script or something.
And look, as people quite often say to me, well, I've never done that before. I said, well, make your first video and you won't be able to say that. All right. Yeah. It is, honestly, it's not hard, it's just new. I was the same, felt very reticent about cutting videos, and then you honestly just get better at doing it, because you start to watch other people, how they're doing it. You start to, you know, you just get more confident with your own ability. As you get results, it's amazing how confident you get when you start getting results. You'll get something subconsciously translates when you start getting results. It'll sort of start to project from here rather than just from your mouth. So this is another reason why it's so important to start quickly, because when you're getting results, it's so motivating. It's spring in your step. It translates to your audience. They know that it's coming from here and not just from your mouth. Would that be right, Greg? You've been in this industry for quite a while.
It does, Albie. Listen, I'd like to relate the story of one of my mentors, other than you. There's a story that he tells, this particular mentor, that he started about 10 years ago. So here he is, like very early 20s, and he quit his job. He found the internet, borrowed $20,000 and blew it within 6 months, you know, on advertising and other things. Didn't get anywhere. But he ended up fluking it. And how he did it, this is about building a list. He wasn't building a list. And he ended up fluking it by, he placed an ad, a free ad on Craigslist, which you can't do anymore, and these sort of ads anyhow. And he placed the ad, and within 24 hours, he got 30 people into his list. And he was so excited, he was just over the moon that he got 30 people subscribed to his list. So what he did, he actually sent them all an email to say, I'm about to show you how you can get a list of 30 people within 24 hours for free. So he ran a conference call on the Friday. He had about 8 people turn up. That was all right. So he placed the list again, and he got about another 20 or 30. So now he got about 50. And he repeated it again. So he was building a relationship. A few more people joined him on the conference calls. This was the days before webinars like we're doing now. So ultimately, in around about 2 or 3 weeks, he had probably about 100 people in his list, and then all of a sudden he made his first sale. and he was over the moon. And so boom, he sent an email out and say, hey, I'm running a conference call to show you how you can make your first sale. And I think he was doing a high ticket item, so he made himself about $500, with free advertising. So he had more people come and join him. That's how he started, and within 5 years, he was earning several $100,000 a year. So it's
so
build a relationship.
If you get results, broadcast it. Paul, I know you've just started an Adfly campaign and you've got some people subscribing to your list. Take a screenshot of your subscribers, broadcast it. Tell someone. You sponsored someone. Starker's sponsored a bunch of people in the last week. He's been broadcasting it. If you have a sale or somebody's upgraded, broadcast it. Just broadcast every bit of success. What you're trying to do is you're trying to create some momentum. You want people to get excited and you want to show them the results that they can get. And what you're doing is you're just creating footholds for people to grab onto. And what you'll find is it'll have a snowball effect. The more success that you're projecting it, the more people will join, which means the more success you can project. The mistake most people make is they'll say to themselves, I'm going to start waiting until I get results, till I start broadcasting, where it actually happens the other way around. And so that's what's so important, to start off as hard as you can and as fast as you can, so that you've got some results that you can broadcast, but also it creates excitement. And as a leader, you need to be the one that is projecting that excitement. You need to be the one that is giving people that motivation. And the life of an online marketer is not always an easy road. You know, you're the one who has to absorb all the shock. You know, when things go pear-shaped, you'll be you'll come at the pointy end of people's scorn. You know, when people aren't getting the results they want, they'll blame you. You know, but you've got to be prepared for that. I'll tell you what, you get paid very handsomely for doing that job, but you've got to mentally prepare yourself, and you know, everything will come back to just mindset. You've got to be so determined about hitting a result. If you believe in the business, then you just make it a goal that you're going to make it happen. Set a goal, and then you make it happen. If it takes, like I've worked out, to make $100,000 a month out of the ClickSense business, I'm going to need, at my current rate, around about 7,800 people in my organisation, whether they buy something or not. Now, I've mentally prepared myself to sponsor every single one of those 7,800 people if I have to. And that's just a point you have to get to as a leader. And most people get to that, what I call that mother hen syndrome, where they're looking for that 2 or 3 key people and then they want to sit on them and then kind of hatch them, hoping they'll have twins or triplets or something, you know. But you've got to be the man. You've got to be the person who's just driving that thing, and you've got to be on it. And you know, give people the tools that it takes, and be their motivator, and create that tribal mentality, and take them on the journey with you. You know, and it's one of the most fulfilling things you can do, but can also be one of the most frustrating things when things don't quite go right. I'll just share with you a message, and this person will know that they sent me this message, and I want to address this. Let me just pull it up here. I promised this guy that I was going to make a video, and this is. These are the questions he sent me. He said, number 1, what am I doing wrong? First of all, I bought 10 ad packs in ClickSense, but unfortunately I burned through those ad views with errors. I set up the wrong PTG landing page into Aweber, so I didn't get any sign-ups. Obviously, that was my mistake. Then I learned from that, and I bought 10 more ad packs in ClickSense and pointed the ads, and he gave me the URL, which is my Carrot Bars affiliate ID. The problem was that after 8,000 ad views, at a 6% click-through rate, and I've still only received 1 sign-up into Aweber, no sales, and 7 pending sign-ups. So what am I doing wrong? I see you guys signing up people all over the place. I need to know where to spend my next batch of dollars for best results. Believe me, I'm not quitting. In fact, I've actually thrown in my job to do this full-time. My theory, he said, number 1, are you advertising through the PLS or ClickSense? I saw you mention Adfly. Is it better to spend money on outside ad sources rather than buying ad packs? Okay, so this is one of the things I really wanted to address. So this is a perfect example of someone who's just got started, and this is a perfect example of what I need to do as his sponsor and as a leader to address those questions. So the first thing I want to mention there is when people come into this business, we need to align their expectations. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to have this call, is you can have the same funnel and the same traffic, and as I mentioned, you're going to get wildly varying results. And I think you're going to get from the tenor of this Q&A session is that you need to persist and just get better at what you're doing. You need to be able to project yourself through your list. You need to be broadcasting through that list. And that's why I think it's really important to start off with Adfly and something like ClickSense traffic, which is fast, cheap traffic, to kind of get a bit of a feel for the numbers and just to see how the whole autoresponder thing works, and it just helps you get your finger on the pulse of things. So number one, the person who wrote that is start off with your ClickSense and Adfly traffic, just so you can get a bit of a roll for the numbers, a bit of a feel for the numbers and how that works. Second thing is with ClickSense in particular, with the traffic you get from every public relations pack, you've got to remember that ends up being free traffic, plus you get 20% on top of that. So you get your money back. So essentially it's free traffic plus the extra 20% that they give you on top of that. But you've got to remember where that traffic's coming from. It's people within ClickSense that are actually viewing your ad. So it's 800 people that are viewing your ad. They have to view your ad because they've got to view 10 ads per day, and it's a perfect audience because everybody in ClickSense are all business opportunity seekers, just like we are. So it's a good audience to do it with, but you've got to remember that they're incentivized to do that. But it's also priced that way as well. Okay, so it's going to have a very, very low conversion rate because people have to view it. It's like Adfly traffic and ClickSense traffic. Okay, so just put that into perspective, and this is my job as your sponsor to help you just align your expectations. That is, I would say, right on the bottom rung of traffic. Yes, it can produce results. Yes, it does produce results. In fact, I had one sign up today for another affiliate program that I'm involved in from that traffic, and I've only had 2 sign-ups for that program since I started driving traffic from my Likes Excel. I'm not going to give you results that aren't true, only get 2 sign-ups, but those 2 sign-ups could give me enormous lifetime value just with those 2 people that have signed up for those 2 affiliate programs. So that's just about aligning your expectation with the sort of traffic you're getting and where you should be starting. Now, once you're comfortable with the numbers and you're happy that everything's running really well, you're getting used to broadcasting, taking screenshots, maybe making videos. I don't know if you want to start making videos. Most people, like I did, start using their uplines videos or someone else in the team, and as they feel more comfortable making more and more videos, then start to use some of the premium traffic, which would be Igor's traffic by far is the highest converting. It's probably also the most expensive, but you've got to remember it's not what you're paying for it, it's how much lifetime value you're going to get out of that traffic. You know, if you're spending 10 cents on traffic and you're getting no sales, or you're spending $100, but it's going to give you $1,000 lifetime value, and obviously the $100 traffic is much more valuable than the $10 traffic. Igor's traffic does convert. Some of it converts straight away, some of it over time, most of them over time actually. And this is probably another statistic which is good to remember, is that most people won't make a decision, and I think statistically, Greg, you might know the exact statistics, somewhere between the 7th and the 13th follow-up email is when they are most likely to make a decision either way, whether they join or whether they ignore it. Is that right, Greg?
Yeah, it's right. It's definitely over about 7 or 8, and it can be up to 13.
Yeah, which means
that's just in a normal sales funnel. It doesn't matter what you're buying, whether you're buying motor cars, televisions, or you're buying a membership with the Likes Excel. It's the same deal.
Yep. Which means you've got to have more than 7 emails in your follow-up sequence, right? So hopefully now you'll know who you are, who wrote that in, and I promised you I was going to cut a video, and that was a few days ago. That'll just help you align your expectations. The key here is don't quit. You know, there's the old saying, don't get bitter, get better. And just keep building that list. Always keep building that list and keep broadcasting and build a relationship, and you'll get better and better and better at what you're doing. Now you'll find you're better in some areas than others. Like I can tell you that Greg is much better at me at setting up funnels and keeping really tidy statistics on every part of his funnel because he's a very detailed guy. I'm hopeless at doing that stuff, but I may be have a different skill set in a different area. So whatever it is that you're skilled at, focus on that skill and dominate it. And I'll guarantee if you're doing, even if you're doing, remember, the right things badly, and you can just focus on one element of that sales funnel that you're good at, you'll make it. You will make it. And if you just stick with it.
Albie, I wanted to say something about the when you were talking about videos a few minutes ago. About 2 years ago, I was in in another business, and there were a lot of leaders who were pushing, doing videos, and so I gave myself a 70-day video challenge, one a day. Midway through that, and I did it. I missed 10 days out of 70. Life got in the way, and midway through that, another leader threw down a challenge, 30 videos in 7 days. So I was living in the south of France at the time, and so I just drove around the little medieval villages of Provence and got a nice spot and shot 30 quick and actionable tips over the course of 7 days. And that, combined with my 70-day challenge, made me very comfortable in front of my iPhone and my selfie stick, or however I shot it each time. And you know, the first dozen were kind of shaky, just like the first couple of emails I've written are just kind of like, oh God, what am I doing? Am I giving away? You know, am I saying too much? Is it too long? And is the formatting right? And you'll just get a feel for it as you go. Writing the emails and shooting the videos. As you go along, you'll just start you'll find out what you love doing. And I found out that I loved shooting the videos because, you know, it could be a lot of people that shoot it, probably like you. You shoot it, you upload it, you're done. Well, I was shooting it, getting onto iMovie, putting in subtitles, putting in things, adding a little music, because I enjoy doing that. And then I would upload it, and I would just be, you could feel that I really enjoyed it, you know, that I really loved what I was doing. And your audience will feel that, your list will feel that. So when I go to make videos now, lately we've only made a few videos so far, but we've just been shooting them and uploading them. But I think I want to get back to what I was doing before, because I was putting a little more of me into it, you know? Just like when you add photos to your emails, you're putting a little bit of you into it. And Albie, you're the best at that. You've always got. I never know what to expect when I open your email, like what photo it's going to be. The other day it was your boys winning the championship in cricket. Thank you. I was going to say Australian baseball, and yeah, and pictures of you and your wife or your family out to dinner, you holding up a big fish that probably somebody else caught. Truth be told, right? It wasn't your fish. You went and bought it at the fish market and went out on your boat. You and I both know I caught that fish. So yeah. So just to reiterate what you were saying, it's nerve-wracking at first, and it feels unnatural at first, and you feel like, if I send this out, I've got 100 people on my list, I'm going to get 100 unsubscribes. Don't worry, not all 100 are going to open it anyway for the first, you know, fact number one. And if you do get unsubscribes, they're not your tribe. They're not ready. They're not your tribe. They're just not your people. So be happy when people unsubscribe, because they're just taking up space, you know. And there's an old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, they weren't ready. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'm gonna leave it at that and mute myself.
Congratulations, Tracy, in that 70. Did you say 70?
70
videos
in 70 days.
Wow. My challenge was about the same period of time, was 30 videos in 30 days, and I got to around about 10 or 15. It was really challenging. Not only did I not know what to talk about, but also how to do it. By the time I got to about 20, and definitely up to the 30, it sort of just became, as you found, pretty slippery. It's just boom, boom. And if you missed a day, you beat yourself up because you wanted to make the video in the first place. So I got to 30 days and then decided to extend it to 40 days. But I didn't know you then. Had I known that you were heading for 70, I would have gone there too.
I tell you, I was just like you said. You don't know what to say. Just steal your ideas from other people. Just take what you can. Find your leaders. Find other people in your business. Put it out in the Skype chat or in the Facebook room. Like, hey, I want to shoot some videos. I'm kind of stumped. I got a little bit of a brain freeze. I don't know what to do. People will throw out ideas at you. You can go through Albie's channel and get 100 ideas real quick. You can go through one of my YouTube channels and get some bad ideas as well.
Awesome. And you know what the amazing thing is here, and it's amazing because we haven't spoken about it, and that is we haven't actually spoken about the business we're involved with. We're specifically talking about the Likes Excel business, and the reason I haven't spoken about that is because people aren't going to get involved in the business you're involved with because of the business. They're going to get involved because they want to get involved with you. And it'll be very rarely that I'll get someone join up on the back of the strength of the business. They'll get in because they want to get involved with our team, with our tribe. They want to get involved with you and your team because they want to. We all gravitate towards like-minded people. We want to feel safe and comfortable. We want to be in a safe environment where we can ask questions. People getting results where we feel like we're being looked after and loved unconditionally. We're all like that. We're humans, and so that's why when I'm training someone, I'll never talk about the business. I'll talk about how they're relating to their list. I think a greatest skill that you can learn in life, I believe, is just people skills, how to relate to other people. I'm an absolute readaholic when it comes to people skills thing. You've got some of the best books are Skills with People by Les Giblin. Tiny little book, in fact, got it on my shelf. I sort of lend them out all over the place, so normally got about 7 copies of that. The other one is Personality Plus by Florence and Fred Liddauer. Fantastic book about learning about the different personalities, where you learn that just because other people think differently, they're not wrong, it's just different. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Fantastic book about how men and women relate very differently. All those books are just awesome. Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People is the absolute Bible on how to relate to other people, and it's the greatest skill, particularly as an online marketer. And remember, because you're not in their living room, you've got more of an undertaking to create a relationship than if you were standing beside them. So you really need to be projecting yourself as much as you can so that they feel comfortable with you. So it's got nothing to do with the business and everything to do with you and how you relate to your list. As I said, you can get the same business, same funnel, same traffic, and every single person will get different results based on how they're relating to their list. And that is the difference between someone who's making $100,000 a year and somebody who's struggling. Because the person who's making $100,000 a year has just worked out how to relate to their list better than the person who's not. It's the one single difference that I've found over the years as to why some people make it online and most people don't. Because the people who make it online will stick with that job until they just get better at what they're doing. And we all suck at it when we start. Man, it took me 3 months to work out Aweber, and then they changed everything, like they're always changing everything. So you've got to relearn things. I'm 48 years old. My hard drive's full as it is, and I've got to try and learn this new skill set. All right.
I want to back you up on that. The first online I was on a list of. I was on this guy's list for about 4 months, and he was promoting this business. I guess I can say what it was. It was a blogging thing. It was Empower Network. I was on his list for 4 months, and I was like, a little bit interested. I was opening all of his emails, and then I met somebody else online. Well, found somebody else online who was in the same business, and I got on her list. After 3 weeks, I joined under her, even though I was on this other guy's list, because she just, I related to her. You know, she presented herself more so than the business. The other guy was just like, this is why you want to sign up. Fact, 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 fact. You know, very little about him. His emails were, I don't know, an accountant would love his emails. You know what I mean? It was all like numbers and facts and this and that. But hers were always videos and different colored fonts and stuff, and just fun, and, you know, very light and very cool. And
what do we call that, Greg?
I was going to say, you'd relate to that one, Albert. Yeah, it's a sanguine. He's a sanguine, and he's the choleric melancholy, and he's telling you, sign up here, and you've got to do it right because the figures are here, 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 and here.
Exactly. It's all down to Personality Plus, the book. We read the same book. Yeah, exactly. And look, 90% of people buy with emotion, not with logic. There's going to be that 10% that want to know all the details. I generally don't relate too well to that audience. They don't relate to me because I'm really short on details. Just ask anyone who's worked with me for any length of time. Greg will testify to that and nod his head. That's why I got friends like Greg, so I don't need to do that. All right. Paul, you've been sitting there very quiet. I know you just started, and I really wanted you to come on this from the perspective of someone who's just getting kicked off. Any comments or observations? They're all questions.
Oh, I'm just absorbing it all, Albie. It's like I said, it's all new. But I mean, I've been in sales and marketing for, you know, conventional sales and marketing now for 25 years. I've been in a few very large multi-level networks, you know, the old pills, potions, and creams type things.
Yep.
And built pretty big businesses out of them. But, you know, what I found was that all the promises of passive income aren't really there because there's no way you can step back at any point and go, well, gee, the job's done and now all the people under me are going to do the work. As soon as you step back, everyone else seems to step back too. So, you know, the dream of building one of those big business networks up and sitting back and relaxing just didn't happen. So, and I imagine probably this is very much the same because it's that people connection where you connect with people and you can, and a true leader is always going to be there for their team. And when you see the leader step back and take a prolonged break, you'll have some people that'll run on their own, and you'll have others that'll just curl up in the corner and die. So, and by the way, my screen's dinging away. All of a sudden, my thing started bringing in sign-up opt-ins. Oh, the opt-ins are jumping again. All right. Oh, and I've had a sign-up too. There you go.
We did not script this. Did we script this, Paul?
Amazing, yeah. Just had another sign-up on ClickSense while we've been chatting. So, very happy with that. Yeah, so it's
honestly we did not script this. Paul, in fact, the reason we did this was because Paul had a few questions. I said, let's get on, let's chat about it. He was actually asking me about his low opt-in rate. We mentioned a few ideas to get his new campaign set up. And while we've been speaking, so just give me some rough statistics. While we've been chatting, Paul, how many opt-ins? And you've got to sign up as well. So
all right, let's have a look. I've had 62 opt-ins and one sign up into the Likes XL. So and that's very good. Where's the rest of the crowd?
Barker's is a one-man band.
That's cool. So yeah, that's just from copying what Albie videoed this morning about setting up that Adfly. The thing stalled it, so I said it had stopped there for some period, Albie. I checked it, and for some reason it went on hold.
It probably hit what they call a daily budget or something, so you've got to put it on 0. Is that right?
Yeah, I changed it back to 0, and then it went on hold.
Yeah.
That there, it's obviously it's gone live again because there's
Trap.
things that are popping up in front of my screen every couple of seconds now.
So Paul.
Well, look, I'm going to leave it here because I can't actually add anything. You've got real results in real time, and honestly, that was not scripted. We did not actually come on here to talk about Paul's results, but great testimony to exactly everything we've been speaking about is playing out while we're actually talking. So unless there's something that you guys really need to say or ask, I'm going to call this a wrap. And is there anything else, Greg or Starkers, that you needed to urgently remind the team of?
I just want to say, everyone, Albie's awesome. Remember that.
Well,
that's a good way to finish up. Yes, about Albie being awesome. We're very grateful to be in the Albie Costa team, Albie. Seriously, it's because we've been with you in other businesses and we know how good you are. And we've been talking in this webinar about building rapport and people joining you and the team and the tribe. I think you mentioned tribe, Stacey. And yes, it's basically, this is the Albie tribe, and it permeates the whole group through the Skype chat room, very much so, and of course these videos as well.
Yeah,
so, good stuff.
I will.
Thank you guys, but we're only as good as the leaders that are carrying you. So I'm on good shoulders, and I appreciate all of you guys. And I have to tell you, I genuinely love doing this, and I love our team, and I love it. I'll tell you what I love is when I see guys step out of their comfort zone and never quitting. I've seen, look, I'll tell you, a big shout out to my friend Donna, who when I met her, I've got to be honest, I almost gave up. She had never been online or had been struggling, and man, she's just a powerhouse now. She's just sponsoring people all over the place. She just stuck with the job, and she was so determined to make it happen. I've seen new Starkers come from like out of nowhere to be just a sponsoring machine. Greg, I think you've always been good and getting better. And Paul, I just know now that you've got some results, you're going to be speaking from here. And hey, broadcast your results. Your team needs to know that you're a leader. You are now a leader because you've got results and you know how to actually teach someone else to do exactly what you've done. You are now an expert on that particular part of the business, and that is your first step on the stairwell of success. So
certainly going to be some videos coming out shortly. So I've got to do that stuff, do some screen captures, and put them out there. This email's going nuts at the moment. So just I've just had a look. There's about 6 a minute coming through.
Whoa.
Good. So thank you.
In addition to Albie being awesome, in all the businesses I've been in, this is the most hands-on team I've been on, and Albie is delivering, he's going above and beyond. And honestly, to be honest, Albie's got a goal, 7,800 people on his team. He's not going to stop. He's going to do whatever it takes to get there. And what he's doing is he's dragging us along with him. He's teaching us. He's emptying out his toolbox for us. Like, not many people will do that. He's and Albie, your brain isn't. Your wife may have a filing cabinet brain. Yours is like that junk drawer in the desk that has all that great stuff in it, where you just throw all like. I need a paper clip. There's one in there, and I need a hole punch. There's a hole punch. I need scissors. That's your brain. Would
it look like that drawer there?
There it is. There's your brain.
That's the drawer. That's where all the secrets are.
Lines of tape. I mean, perfect. Anyway,
every bloke's got his junk drawer. But well, thank you. I mean, I think the way to build this business is to. The thing I love about the networking industry is you have to help other people become successful. There's no other way you're going to make it in this industry unless you help other people become a success as well. And the best way to do that is become a success yourself. I mean, it's a catch-22. So thank you very much for joining us, guys. We literally organised this in about 10 minutes flat, and we're going to set this up as a training video for the whole team. I hope you learned some little gold nuggets. I really want the new people to be watching this, just to kind of align your expectations, but also to give you hope that if you don't quit, you'll make it. We're going to give you all the right tools. Okay, we're not going to hold anything back. We're going to be giving you exactly the same stuff that all of us are using, the same stuff that Paul has been using to get results while we've been online, getting sign-ups and opt-ins, exactly the same tools. The only thing we can't give you is the intestinal fortitude to keep on going, and also the willingness to get better at what you're doing, and that is, building that relationship with that list, and then and building your own tribe there. So thank you very much, Paul, Starkers, Greg. Love you guys. Love being in business with you, and team. Look forward to seeing your results, and I look very much to helping every single one of you who wants to become a huge success in this particular business. I believe with all my heart that every single one of you could be making 5- and 6-figure a month incomes from this particular business if you persist, because I've seen it happen before. Okay, so that's a wrap. Thanks, boys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Harvey. Thanks, Greg. Thanks. Bye. Bye, guys.